right, you have your mic? All right. Okay. Go ahead, David.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 2022 Young Sharks competition. This year, this competition is really dear to us as an agency because we've decided to take on something that's really dear to our city, and it's gun violence. So throughout the year, we've been doing different initiatives to raise our voice against gun violence. And we, as an agency, decided to activate our communities, which are you guys, in 3 different ways. So, not one more shot, you guys are all wearing a t-shirt that says not one more shot, and that definitely means we're tired, we're done, enough, right? And we ask our young people to show up in 3 different ways. If you look at the back of your shirt, there are 3 pledges that you can take as a young person living in New York City, right? You can create a purpose, and those are my young sharks. You guys are here because you decided to take the pledge to create a purpose, and that purpose is to fight against gun violence, right? So your business idea that you're going to present today is going to tell the city, it's going to tell the mayor, it's going to tell the DYCD, it's going to tell your peers how you are going to take a stand against gun violence. We have 2 other pledges. You can play for purpose. So if you like sports, if you like basketball, you can play for purpose. If you're a leader, and we'll talk about our leaders when we introduce you to the judges, you can lead with a purpose. So everything you do as a young person in New York City, I ask you to please do it with intention. You either lead, you create, or you play for purpose. And always encourage your friends and your family to take the pledge against gun violence. The last thing we want you guys to do is become numb. Gun violence is not okay. It's not okay in our city. It does not belong in our city. We're going to continue to fight as a city against gun violence. So I applaud you today for being here, to be in front of your peers, to talk to the judges about what you as a young person can do against gun violence. Because at the end of the day, you are the future. It's not going to be me. It's not going to be my team in the back. It's not going to be the judges. Well, of course, Arnold. He's one of our youth judges, and you guys are going to hear from him. It's going to be you. It's going to be your voice. And you're going to continue to fight against gun violence. So, again, if you have not taken the pledge, please see one of the staff in the back for a QR code where you can pledge to either lead, create, or play for purpose. And that purpose is fighting against gun violence, right? Make sense?
Yes.
Not one more shot?
Not one more shot.
Not one more shot?
Not one more shot.
You guys are here too? You guys are here too?
Create a purpose.
Create with a purpose. What's that purpose? Hello, you guys are here. So, before we get started, my judges, I want to introduce to you a partner that DYC has been really blessed to work with. He is passionate about young people, he's passionate about what you guys are going to do, and he has major resources for you guys. So I want you to put your hands together and welcome Mr. Charles Bishop of the New York
and distinguished judges. Look at the judges. Y'all better look sexy for the judges. It's all about how you work the judges to get this prize. So, how many groups we got? 4? 5 groups. I'm excited. When we started this with Karen, it was like October, right? It was like, but Karen pulled this off. Give her a round of applause, please. Please. Her and her staff, can't forget the staff, tirelessly worked all the way up to the last video that y'all saw. That somebody told her it couldn't get done, and then she's hitting me the next day in the morning saying, I need you to prove this. I was like, I thought this could get done, but Karen does not take no for an answer. All right? No, so that's the type of person that inspires me to want to get David John involved, what we're doing right now. Now, the Man, let me tell you, you're gonna definitely get Dana, whoever the winner is. Even second and third place is gonna be a part of what we're doing. When we set it out at the part of the year, for Black Entrepreneurs Day, the winner will be in there, but maybe before there. But I just got word that the winner, David wants to invest in that app. All right, for the winner. And we want to take that to city where there's high crime and make that a part of New York City's contribution to America to reduce gun violence. So whoever the winner is, you're going to be a part of what Damon and the mayor is doing to address gun violence. And I just heard Microsoft wants to be part of the initiative. I just got a call today. So anything that's dealing with technology, Microsoft likes to get their hands on it. And they are working with Damon and public housing. So you're going to be in touch with Microsoft just as well. So I don't know who the winner is going to be. That's only up to the judges. But I'm excited about the whole program. The Mentor New York, right? Mentors New York. I applaud that organization and the great work they did to prepare you guys. Listen, there's a lot going on in regards to gun violence, and the Supreme Court just passed another new law that's allowing easy access to guns, to handguns. So we got a lot of work to be done. I just hope that you guys go all out in making your presentation and don't skip a beat. Be passionate about, how you present yourself. Think about the Damon on Demand curriculum and all that you learned from that, and give it your go. All right. So I just, before I go, I'm going to shout out the fitness center, program director, executive director, Randy Fisher, that's been with me all the way, participating in this happen. And like I said, we're just getting started. There's going to be no losers here. I really hate to say that. There's not going to be any losers. It's only 5 of y'all. So we're going to be involved with you guys after this. And David is interested in all the fighters. All right, I'm just letting you know all the fighters. Except number one, we'll be interested in much more. All right. So Darren, I'll turn it back over to you. I want to thank you guys and good luck.
Mentor New York, they've been an integral partner, they've played an integral role in mentoring for young people. So thank you guys so much. They are our amazing crew in the back, so thank you guys so much. So now, I'm going to introduce you to your judges, right? So I'm going to let them introduce themselves. I'm going to let them tell you a little bit about themselves and why they're here to do this for you guys today, volunteering their time to be here with you guys today. So the first person is Professor Anthony Clark.
Thanks for that great introduction. I'm a professor at NYU, and I will talk a lot, so I'll be brief in my introduction. What makes me happy to be here and volunteer my time? I'm a kid from Brooklyn, from immigrant parents. My parents came from Barbados. I grew up in Flatbush, Brooklyn, and I know what that's about. So when I see the faces here with gun violence, I have been a victim many, many years ago. I grew up in Brooklyn. It was a nice and all kind of things, and the dumb didn't exist now in Brooklyn. It was a different place. So to see this great opportunity that all these wonderful groups in front of us will have I to the core and back end and stop gun violence, it makes me excited. My son's out in the streets, I'm out in the streets, and if one of these apps or one of these things that you guys are going to come up with today can help change a life, I'm here for it. I'm hoping one day in one of my classes at NYU, I'm an entrepreneur also, so I'm not going to invest myself. So I like you to see what you have to bring to the table. I'm going to get back to the community and go for the next steps from there. So I won't take it too much time. You'll hear a lot from me for tonight anyway. We're looking forward to the next steps. So good luck to all the teams. Thanks for all the mentors. I mean, they all good jobs anyway. Without the mentors, none of this would be possible. I'm glad to be a part of this wonderful organization. That's it.
And this is indeed the truth. So the staff who are here with their groups, so they big up yourself. The kids who came independently. You guys cannot get this done without a team, and I always say it takes a village. So Good job. Thank you for that, Professor Lindsay Clark. Jamila Rose. Good job. And she is going to what she gets to do with you guys today.
Hey everybody, first give yourself a round of applause before I start speaking. It takes a lot of courage to do what you guys are doing today. It takes discipline, hard work, research, and thinking out the box. My name is Jamila Amansu Rose. I'm a writer, a publicist, and I also work with the hip hop crew right here, Charles Fisher, DYCD. I'm also writing a book called Projects to Profit. And Projects to Profit is very dear to me, which is why I'm here. To be completely transparent with you guys, every time I look at the audience, I see a little bit of me. So I grew up in the projects of East New York, Brooklyn, and I know what it is to strive. I know what it is to have ideas, and I know what it is to live with stigmas and myth that follows us. So today, you guys should be extremely proud, and as Charles said, I'll piggyback over him, no one leaves here with a loss. Because the fact that you're in this room, you already won.
Yes.
Okay? So today, we are all about combating, right, gun violence. New York City is a stepping stone to what we want to do all around in other states. So you guys are paving the way. This is a remarkable day, and you should hold it dear to your heart. So today, I'm only here to see the very best. So when you come up here, bring it. Show it out and show it off. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamila. Thank you. And our final judge is a young man who's really dear to me. I call him Arnold for everything. So he's my youth leader, is what I call him. So Arnold was the winner of last year's competition, and Arnold has been a part of every journey that I decided to do since we started the June 3rd campaign. He was able to showcase his business that he pitched last year. So definitely full circle, and I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let Arnold tell you about his experience as a young shark and his experience working with DYCD with the business he created as part of Young Shark. So this is not a joke. This is definitely where you want to be if you are interested in being an entrepreneur.
Hello, everybody. So, like Karen said, my name is Arnold Bud. I'm from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. I was once in y'all shoes. I currently go to New York City of Technology. It's also New York City Tech, so I finished my first year there, and I'm going to my sophomore year. So I was once in y'all shoes as a young shark, but y'all's is better than mine. I was on mine. Y'all get more money. Y'all getting free food. I was on the computer, looking at the screen, nervous, sweating, just trying to, make something out of nothing. I just want y'all to be focused, pitch your ideas to the best of your abilities. One thing about me, I like to stand out. When you stand out, the judges see y'all stand out and be yourself, you know you won. And never give up, because even if you don't get funded, like Professor said, he's an entrepreneur himself, he might want to invest in you. He might want to put his own money into your business. So you never know what you'll get out of the opportunity. So that's what I would like to say. And just a little bit about my business. My business name, Jacob Right Does Up Us Down. This is the shirt I got on now. I get funded. Thank you. I get funded by DYCD, Young Sharks, for being a winner. Another organization called Inspiring Minds. And all this led to me and my friends making money. Doing something better for ourselves and doing something for government. I'm only 19 years old. Some of y'all might be the same age as me. Some of y'all might be a year or two younger than me. So we could be in the same shoes. I might want to support your business. We probably could collab. So never be discouraged. And let's continue with tonight. Give y'all some love.
Thank you, Mr. Lud. I'm definitely going to piggyback on that. Last year was tough. But guess what though? Last year we had, don't be shy, Arnold, there were 20 teams last year. And you won. That's amazing. So we're always, this is the first year that we've had few teams, but you guys are the best of the best, and I know you guys can bring it. So, again, bring your A game. No one's a loser. There's no space for losing. If you're here, that means you already invested your time, and you are here to win it. And you cannot win it if you're not in it, right? Okay, so let the competition begin. The first seed we're going to call is Jerry Novus.
Hey everyone, how is everyone doing right now? Can I get a clap for everyone? So, my name is Jerry, and I'm a senior at the high school for math, science, and engineering. And this is my project called Novus, which is an app to reduce gun violence, as well as giving a lending hand to the youth. So let's address the problem, which is that in 2021 alone, almost 6,000 youth were affected due to gun violence. And this isn't just nationally, it's also globally as well. 200,000 youth homicides occur annually worldwide according to the World Health Organization. And as of youth, we have leading cause of death among the youth. So what Novus is, and people might not know what Novus is about. Novus means new and young in Latin. And for many students, they need a simple but great app to connect with each other, as well as finding employment, mentorships, and education by preventing gun violence and gang violence. We want to connect with NGOs so that they could provide an online course provider for the youth. And what Novus is first about is providing that courses. Has anyone heard of edX or Coursera? Great. Anyone heard of BrainPop? You know, they have a lot of education videos, and we hope to actually bring those videos into light so that the youth could be trained into conflict prevention as well as reducing gun violence. We want to connect with survivors. So I know there's a lot of teams here that have apps as well, but my app is about directly connecting to survivors. Through foundations such as the Sandy Hook Promise Foundation, we hope to connect with individual survivors and make sure they have a direct line of communication to app users, to youth, so that they know what they are facing with. Has anyone searched Sandy Hook shooting before on YouTube, on Google? What you'll see is a plethora of news media companies and second-handed sources like Fox News or CBS. But those only show school hallways. They never show what the true words of what the victims are saying. So our app tries to give them a platform to do so. Working hand to hand with public officials and local community members, that's what we're trying to do, especially when connecting to the youth who don't have a vote. We also want to make sure that we have career-oriented programs, and through a network of companies, we hope so that these companies will make a profile in our app. And with those partnership organizations, we hope that they can offer job opportunities, internships, and volunteering to youth who are interested in volunteering or doing something out of the school. And by doing this, it actually decreases the level of exposure to introduction to gang violence or gun violence. We also research. We hope that youth user app will help to combine research and blogging as well as making a forum so that they can know more about gun violence and the statistics about it. Now, our social culture is changing right now. During the pandemic, a lot of people are isolated, they don't go to social events or volunteering events. Anyone heard of Key Club before? Right, you know, a lot of Key Clubbers like me, I was a Key Clubber. We go to events and all that stuff, which is really fun. But, you know, because of the pandemic, we're so isolated. And the statistics actually show 44% of high schoolers, according to the CDC, reported that they felt that it was hopeless during the pandemic. And so, through our app's location tracking, we hope that we could match app users to local events. Anyone heard of Saturday Night Lights? Right. We hope to connect that so that people would know what those are, right? A lot of people don't know, and that's kind of the irony, right? Youth today, they're so obsessed with Instagram and Facebook, but the irony here is that they're so disconnected with small events and local events that provide gun violence prevention. Volunteering as well, I said, like from park cleanups to volunteer to the New York City Triathlon. I hope that our app connects that to the youth. Organizations, our plan for this year is actually to make 50 organizations to join our pledge, as well as 3,000 active app users, as well as 20 educational institutions, from universities to nonprofit organizations. Marketing, we hope that our target audience is for you. And so that's our audience. Sponsorships, through sponsorships of organizations, we hope to partner with them, giving us funding as well as educational resources so that we can help the youth. And development, we're currently developing app building as well as design. Now the advantage is that anyone who's LinkedIn, Coursera, right? Some of you, right? But according to the statistics from Statistica, that only 16% of youth users only use LinkedIn, right? The reason why is because that LinkedIn is actually very hard to navigate. And that is actually our advantage because our app development and our app design is for the youth. It is aesthetic and simple enough so that youth would know how to professionally build through our app. Our design right now is a little bit something like this, and we actually hope to make it accessible for youth that have Android as well as Apple. Now, this is one part. The budgeting plan is mostly app development, right? Because there's a lot of time commitment towards that. The second largest is actually the $600 for UX design, and this is very important in an app because we want to make it simple, aesthetic, but we also want to make research so that youth would realize about how we can navigate through the app. So, any questions? This is not the end. I have a 1-minute ad to show you. So, let's take it away. Thank you so so much.
Thank you. Now the judges have 5 minutes to ask questions.
I have 2 questions. One question, how does your app stand out from other competitors?
We want to, that's a really good question, by the way, and I've actually thought about that a little bit in more detail. And what an app is, the purpose of an app is to make sure that users have to utilize the app with a purpose, right? And you saw from my presentation that we have a lot of purposes, but one unique thing that I want to illustrate, that I really want to show, is that our app directly connects with victims of gun violence, with gang violence, because their voices are sometimes very unheard of, right? Do you know a victim of gun violence? Probably, right? But many people don't, and my app tries to connect that. My app tries to become the director, the middleman between organizations, foundations, and educational institutions, and young people who really want to know how to reduce gun violence in their communities. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. One more question. How would you get someone like me or anything your peers to use your app?
I think that's a really good question, and it's based on the personality of the person, right? I think for the personalities of the people who are using this app, they're very determined. They have a great personality like you. They want to know what it's like to be a survivor of gun violence. And that's how we're trying to make the app, to market the app, transparent, free, as well as having a forum so that they can talk more about it. And I think that's one of the best things about this app, which is that it is everything, a LinkedIn, networking, connecting, as well as being a course provider, like Coursera or like Brainpop, so that it's all into one, with one simplistic purpose to reduce gun violence. I hope that answers the question.
I have a couple of questions, so one question in particular. Let's say you win the competition. How long would it take to bring your app to the marketplace?
How long would I
Take to develop it fully?
That's a good question. I think that, like Facebook, like Instagram, it's always constantly changing. And our first development, I believe, will be in a few months. Let's take it 5 or 6. But I don't think that's, I don't think that is something that I would illustrate, because it's time commitment. It's something that's constantly changing. And we hope to improve it through UX design and research, so that the youth would have a better time accessing the information that we provide. I hope that answers the question.
You mentioned in your presentation that you'll do some networking and other organizations will sponsor. How does it, you go into more detail how the sponsorship monetization work, or how do you make the money from the sponsorship? How do you go into that?
That's a good question. So, first I would like to say that the app is free. It is free for youth app users to use, and we hope to make it free through sponsorship. One thing that I want to make sure of is that we want to make sure that organizations can build a profile so that app users could know what the company is about. Secondly, about the sponsorship, the question is that we hope that group partnerships maybe get some funding, but we think that if a company could offer a job, maybe one job to one team, and that team could get a job, we're just one step ahead of what they would professionally do, right? And that'll be further away from what they might do, which is gun violence or gang violence. So maybe we could get funding from a company, but then offering a job is definitely better. Yeah, any more questions?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you.
So before I go into my question, I want to say you did a really good job, despite that mic being, in and out.
Yeah.
You didn't stop, you kept going, which is important. And as an entrepreneur myself, I understand that we're going to have challenges. So you just demonstrated that you are a person that can, move. Like, it's like being with a fitness trainer and you're working out, you know how to move so you won't get hit, and that's important being in business. I like that you engage with the audience, because absolutely that's important, because you kept their attention by stopping and asking if anyone had questions. That's definitely how you keep, individuals' attention. They both kind of asked some of the questions that I wanted to know, which is one, funding. So I'll say this: what would be your biggest strength right now if we move forward and select you as the winner? What's your biggest strength? Because everyone here is, demonstrating an app that's for the youth. What is your biggest strength which outranks everyone else in this room?
That's a really good question in very specific one. I think everyone here is very talented at being finalists. I wouldn't say that it is a strength because they have it, but I would say trust. I trust that this app will go not only citywide, but statewide and nationally if possible. I think that the judges here are talented individuals, and I hope you guys trust me, because that is the strength that I uphold. I think when I took the pledge a few weeks ago, I was saying, well, don't I already know what the pledge is? Because I do want to self-employ this, but I have to trust myself to do so. I want to make sure that this app is online so that youth could essentially connect with others better and preventing violence. So yes, I think the strength that I have is trust.
So one more question. My colleague here did ask, when would you respectfully feel the app can go in the market, right? So that's kind of something we need to know. So there's short term, right? And there's long term. So give us a quick short term. If you could have a projection, what that projection will be. And that's important, because when people are investing, they want to know how quick they can get their money back.
That is correct. And to answer your question, I think short term will be around 3 to 4 months, but at the long term, it should be through developments, through finalization, which is around 5 months, like answer the question. I would say that to meet our goals, which is around 3,000 active users, we have to be considerate of the time commitment for the app, but also for the app users and investors. And so I would say short term would be 3 or 4 months. Long term would be perhaps a year. Again, it's constantly changing apps, right? So we want to make sure with our research we would be it for the users.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow. This is what our judges, I don't want to be you today, and we don't want to be you today. So we're going to take a really short break, really quick break, and we ask that she'll get ready after the break. Few minutes. Judges, I do not want to be in your shoe right now. It's going to be tough. Let's keep the competition. The next team I'm going to call up is Shield Up. Shield Up is from Deacon Canada 269.
Hi, my name is Annie Sorosi, and today we are with Canada 361.
Hi, my name is Melinda. How's everybody in the crowd doing? Katie.
Hi, my name is Mia, and we are representing Canada Beacon 361. We are working on an app called Shield Up in an attempt to put a stop to gun violence in schools. Guns should not be in the hands of those who are not capable of respecting the weapon and the lives of those around them. We believe that firearms should be used by those in armed forces, police, and trained civilians. The effects of gun violence are far-reaching and devastating. Families are left incomplete and shattered at no fault of their own. Due to gun violence, our target is to offer an app to assist in the reduction of violent crimes committed with firearms, as well as to prevent the loss when these tragic events occur. We plan to focus our app on mainly and specifically middle income schools. Our app will offer services such as providing security to staff and students through sensors that will detect and immediately report gun violence in the building. We will also have a section to direct those in need of mental health services in order to preemptively stop shootings. Financially, we would require funding for an app developer, marketing, security, consultation services, moderators, and the sensors. In conclusion, our app gives the opportunity to reduce gun violence in schools and reduce deaths caused by gun violence in schools.
How does our app work? So our app, we have different tabs. Shield Up is designed to operate in middle schools and high schools. Shield Up is to help combat the issues of gun violence that has been going on in schools. People who will be able to access Shield Up is students, teachers, parents, and school personnel. Our first tab, on a typical day, when you first open our app, you will be first presented with a checkup. The checkup will be a scale of emojis from 1 to 5, different emojis expressing different feelings: happy, sad, upset, frustrated, and etc. And you will be posed with a question to further explain how your day is going on, to check up on you. You'll get a question such as, who was someone today that helped you with something that you were facing or something difficult? Questions like that. And our second tab is safe space. This tab is to help with your mental health. This tab is to check up on you, just like the first one, to check up on you. You get to talk to different people that specialize in mental health. To tell you can talk to them, and this will be anonymous. You won't be traced back to it. So if you want to tell them something personal that's going on in your life, you can talk to them about it, and they won't know who you are. Our third tab is Count Your Days. Count Your Days is basically a clock that we set. This clock, it goes around for how long that we have gone without gun violence, or without gun violence. And every time that gun is fired, the clock will be reset by our team. This is because we want to motivate our users with the clock of how long that we go without gun violence. Our third tab is tight space alert. Tight space alert is basically witnessing that gunfire has been that a gun has been fired, and this will alert everyone who has the app, and it will also alert emergency services, and it will alert everyone to hide and away from doors and windows. And our team will be working on to see what is going on in the school, and we will update everyone about the situation that is going on.
Our last tab is called Raise a Flag. This tab is basically teachers and parents. They can be talking about anything that they've heard from their kids, basically saying if they've heard about the situation that's been going on. Students can also tell these teachers and parents, basically anonymously, about if they've heard or seen anybody talking about gun violence, talking about if they wanted to harm anybody in the school, and this will all be anonymous because in our day and age, we all know nobody wants to quote unquote snitch. So everything is going to be anonymous, nobody can be traced back or anything like that. Also, in 4 and 5 school shootings, there's always one person that knows about the attack. So I have to basically help those people feel comfortable to come and tell anybody about these attacks that will probably might happen. We don't want to have a possibility. We want it to be sure. So that's basically what our app can help with. 93% of school shooters have planned an attack in advance on apps like Twitch, Instagram. They always talk about it before they've done it. And our app can also help with that because, people will feel safe to come to our therapist, professional therapists, to talk about what has been going on, if they're getting bullied, if they feel someone is causing a threat to them, so that it won't go to having a school shooting or nothing like that. Our budget plans. First we have lawyering. Nobody wants to get sued. There's always going to be a lot of people that wants to bring you down, especially as a Black business. And so our lawyering fees, we're going to put $700 towards that. Our app development, we're going to be putting $800 to that. This is accidentally wrong, but it's okay. We're going to put $800 to that because the whole point of this is the app. So we want our app to be good. We want people to help navigate it. And equipment, the sensors. Like she said in the red flag or the raise a red flag, the sensors are going to actually be what the app is mostly about, so that you know if there's going to be a gun, if you know that there's a shooting in the building, and the alerts notification are all a part of that. Marketing. The reason why marketing is so low because in my day and age, I know that most of the time I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, and so those are all free apps, just like our app. And so we could really do this ourselves and go to TikTok, Instagram, and market our apps to people of our age because that's mostly who's going to be using this app. Also, what's it called? Sorry. As you guys know that in the beginning of, not in the beginning of the year, like in the beginning of this month, ending of March, there was a school shooting in Texas, and there was a girl that knew about it, and she didn't go to nobody because she didn't have nobody that she could go to. Using our app, people like her could come to our app and tell people about what is going to happen, what they think is going to happen, so that they have a safe place to let everybody know, and basically it could help prevent situations like that. And hopefully, beyond, we hope to not only have it in schools, but have it in supermarkets, buildings, and just, places in general. Using your help, we can actually make this app happen because us ourselves, we cannot do it ourselves. So hopefully with you guys, we can build this app.
Shield up. Now the judges have 5 questions to ask the young ladies some questions about their presentation.
Okay, so so round of applause to you, fine ladies, for coming back. I remember when we met a few weeks back, we gave you guys some feedback. And, you know, I want to be very honest. I love the idea. I think the idea is great. But the feedback we gave you guys, I didn't see it being implemented on today's presentation. Okay, and part of that was being confident and remembering that if you have partners with you that are not confident in speaking, then you take the strongest person or two and allow those two people to lead. You did a great job, but when you're on your phone and you're looking down, it's like you don't know the business that you want us to believe in. And that's very important. And it happens sometimes we get nervous. I went up there earlier and I forgot 2 or 3 highlights that I wanted to share with the audience. But I'm not the one up there going for the money. You guys are. So that's my feedback. I have a question regarding the target market. And let me say this, I love the count the clock. I love that. I think that's very creative. Never heard that before, and I believe it's a standalone project within itself. So you guys should definitely hold on to that. The market definitely is to youth, right? So with the schools, are you saying your app is designed for those schools only, or are you starting with Erasmus, South Shore? How does it go?
First, how we're going to start is we're going to have basically a practice here. And we're going to go in certain schools, not all, just to make sure that our app is actually, you know, the best standard, because this is something you have to take serious. So then after that, the following year, you know, the school year, then we will start to branch out into other schools. So it's not just only South Shores and that's where we're starting.
I'm going to add my partner just when you met me in the pair, I would say future. I'll give you some advice. Don't put anybody in the pedestal when you're doing a presentation. Just talk with your friends like on the street or something like that. It kind of takes the pressure off. But the app is good. And what we wanted to say was that we talked before, it has the right foundation. When you guys are nervous, you kind of get everything out. Just cool. Don't overemphasize and put too much pressure on yourself when you're doing these things. Once you make it light and easy, like you're talking to one of your friends, it becomes like you own it, like you notice that, it makes it easy to get right to understand. So in the future, let's do that. Just try to take down the stress level. It's not that big a deal. It's a big deal. It's not that big a deal. It is kind of easy with it. Breathe, and you'll be good. Because when people understand what you're doing, you have a great app, it'll help you bring more things to the table. One question I have for the budget. The budget, we had $1,305. But the prize money is $25. Why did you do the budget that way?
So when we first started this, we thought that it was $1,350, but then when we were told that it was actually $2,500, that's when, you know, we tried to change it and put more money into stuff, but yeah.
So what would you do differently between the delta? Let's say you have budget at $1,350. What would you add extra? Can't add any more so bad. With the extra money, what would you do with the extra money?
So everything is going to be local, black owned and stuff like that. It's going to be sponsored. And so we really don't need too much money, and everything will be good for ourselves. And with all this money, we could put more stuff, making more businesses, more schools.
I was gonna say that we would add more money to like our insurance, because insurance is very important. So if one person sensors break, so that we have money to fix it, and we would add more money into the app development. Also, we would not add a lot of money into the marketing, because we ourselves are marketing the app. So yeah.
I like y'all app. I really think it's a wonderful app. One thing I like that y'all did was y'all put a lot of money into your security. Having lawyers, the fact that just in case something goes wrong. That's one thing I like. I like to piggyback off the other judges that, when you're in that atmosphere where you're nervous, never give up. Always, push your limits. You never know what you get out of it. One team you might be nervous, but if you two step up and then you gotta do what y'all plan to do, you never know what you get out of it. And my one question is, how would y'all use the clock? Would it be something similar to like the app Citizen? Like how would y'all know when the shot goes off and when to change it? Would it be remotely or would it be like hands-on?
When the shot goes off, the sensors would tell us. Like it would tell us either it's just like you said, the Citizens app. That's how it would be. Our sensors would alert us either if a shot is outside the school or if it's near a classroom, or it will tell you the specific classroom where the shot was set off.
To piggyback off that question, last question, would this app only, go around the schools, the areas that y'all partner with, or would it be around the tri-state and Citizen?
That's we're starting off with those schools, and then after we wish to expand.
Thank you.
Thank you, show up, stay connected from Brooklyn, New York. Let's hear it, showed up. Okay, we're moving along, bro. On to our third presentation for the night, and that would be For Our Lives.
All right, hi everyone. Okay, so my presentation is called For Our Lives, and it's also an app that is focused on giving reliable, high-quality courses to students across the nation and hopefully internationally as well. All right, so as a student, in my experience in 2017, our school, an attacker actually drove like a truck to mow down pedestrians, and many of which were children from our school that were going home from school. And just this April, the Brooklyn Q shooting happened, which also made it very unsafe for many kids going home living in Brooklyn. And again, in April, we were threatened with a school, and then it caused a school-wide shutdown. We had to stay in our classrooms for hours on end. And then in May 2022, of course, we know that the horrific shooting in a Texas elementary school happened. Okay, so the problem, of course, is why we're all here, that education in gun violence is not enough anymore. Awareness in gun violence is not enough anymore, and education is where we need a thorough re-education of everywhere, since, right now in global studies classes, social studies classes, right now in global studies, social studies classes, currently we're learning about the Middle Ages, the Chinese dynasties, the empires, right, that have risen and fell, but we do not stress enough on the history of gun violence and the current impacts it has in our lives and in many students as well. So, of course, our why is gun violence prevention, right? And then our how is through the app For Our Lives, which will be on the next slide. So, what is For Our Lives, right? Like I elaborated, I'll just elaborate on it more, but in our first slide, I talked about how it was an app for a thorough re-education that we want to implement through all schools, and then it should address social issues that are important in our current day and age. And so some of it, which may include racial injustice, the LGBTQIA+ community, climate change, voting rights, education equity, just to name a few. But since we're currently on gun violence, the next slide will address it all. So this will be the outline, a rough outline of our curriculum so far. So first of all, we have to, ask the question, what is gun violence, right? How is it impacting people across the world? what is it doing, what is its history, what is its effects, and then of course after that is mental health, because we all know that it plays a really important part on the thinking of an attacker. And then afterwards is public policy, learning about relevant laws regarding gun violence as well as the Second Amendment and what that entails. After that is in the situation. So of course I want to emphasize that no student should ever be in a classroom where there is a gun available, they should never be in danger. But of course with the high amount of gun violence rates in the US, we always want to keep our children safe, which I believe is a really important lesson, just to be able to know what to do in the situation of. And then finally, it's what you can do, where we can connect kids with local organizations and places where they can become better advocates and learn more about gun violence. Okay, moving on. So our audience is educators who are striving to make a change in their classrooms for the children of our legacy, right? And then so what is in it for them for our lives is completely free, and they provide reliable and high quality curriculums and courses for educators to use during lessons. Moving on. Okay, so what makes us unique? So we know that there are many different competitors out there with a lot of courses, right? That you can go online and Google mental health and gun violence and you can come up with a million different search results, right? You can Google gun violence policies and also come up with a million search results, right? And so we're trying to take the guesswork out of providing high quality courses that are reliable as well, that are basically a one-stop shop for all educators, so they don't have to go online and think about, oh, am I misinforming my students with the information I'm giving them, because all of our content will be checked again by professionals. And then not only that, but it's a vast variety, it's ready to go and ready to teach. Lessons are especially interactive for kids to learn from and include a wide range of activities. There can be a reward system set in for kids. And then it also provides easily digestible content. And then so for the additional features part of it, in the settings tab, you will find a button where you can toggle for the different age groups, because you can't be teaching the same curriculum about gun violence to kindergartners that you are to high schoolers, right? So we're going to make it specifically tailored, and I would put an emphasis on tailored, because that is just what we want to do, right? We want to make sure that everything is age appropriate and students are learning at the pace that they're comfortable with. And educators will be able to change this over time, depending on how the student progresses and also their age, right? And then moving on. So we want to start small. We're starting with we're going to reach out to local schools and make improvements based on their feedback. So we currently have, I have a teacher in my school who is very interested in implementing the program, and I think that's where I would like to start, of course, just seeing how it works in my school before, moving it on to, reaching out to different middle schools in my area, elementary schools, and seeing how that works. And then we'll always be, trying to fix things up, trying to make updates, and trying to see where we can make the biggest changes in. Okay, so adjusting different beliefs. This is a very important one, because I realize that, many people hold different beliefs, right? Some believe in guns, some people don't. That is completely fine, to each their own, freedom of thought, right? But what is most important is addressing gun violence. We're not going to be telling kids, for example, guns are good, guns are bad. It's more about the responsibility that comes with a gun and how to be responsible for one. We're not going to be like, you should not own a gun, you should own a gun. That is not going to happen. In this situation, we're going to say, you know what, there are pros and cons of owning a gun. It is your choice, your Second Amendment right, but the thing is, you need to know the responsibility that comes with owning one and how to use it like a responsible adult. You're not supposed to be firing it off ever, which I think we can all agree on, because gun violence is, we want to be doing our job to prevent it. Okay, so this is our budget. So I realized that if I just threw up a bunch of numbers here and said I need $900 for app development, why, right? And what what does that number mean? It could be 900 or 1,000 for like all that matters. So on this side of things, we have a layout of what we would like, of how we would like to budget it in our specific categories. So for app development and graphics, graphic designing, marketing expenses, and business consulting are our main categories. And so under each of them, I did some research as to which website would be able to provide me with these, provide me with, their services, and I would be able to see how much it is per hour, monthly, whatever, so like annually, monthly, per hour, and then I was able to do my budgeting from there. Okay, moving on. So, of course, we talked about budgeting. We should also talk about revenue, right? Where we're gonna get money from. So mostly it'd be sponsorships and advertisements. So there are 3 different types of advertisements that we think we can implement. Because, like I said, our program is entirely free. The app is 100% free, no cost at all. So, because we want to make it as accessible as possible, but so we still need to have funding, right? So, advertisements such as native ads, which are integrated into the layout of the app, right? And banner ads would be our go-to to implement since they distract less. And unlike video ads, right, where you kind of have to stop and then pause your lesson to watch a video ad, but I think these would be most well integrated into the reward system for younger kids specifically, where for for points per se, right? Watch the ad, you get 10 points, and can have it and play it in the free arcade. And then moving on to sponsorships, where we're finding companies that have previously invested in gun advocacy projects. And so the one I have up here is called Tom's. And they have done, like I said, invested in gun advocacy projects, and we're also looking at nonprofits as well that do work with anti-gun violence. And that's our wedding. And thank you.
The judges now have 5 questions about the presentation.
Well, first, I would like to say I like your presentation. I like how you feel a bit confident. You nailed that nine, let you down.
Thank you.
One question I would like to ask, would you be willing to connect with different organizations that are already out to help your program or further?
Yes, of course. Thank you. I think that just connecting with people and organizations that we can not only grow from, but we can also add to, because I think that's very important, where we're contributing something to them and they can be helping us grow. I think that's very important. But yes, we're very open to just connecting and partnering up with different organizations.
Actually, good job. I have a couple of questions. In your budget slide, you mentioned something about consultants and other kind of things. What would be your plan to manage all of that? Because bringing other people into your organization can be tricky, then I'm not sure your experience with that. So how would you go about making sure these people paid or doing what you want them to do?
I mean, first and foremost, I think that, like I said, quite an experience here, right? High schooler, nothing much. But then, so like I said, the list of websites I put up there, right? Not only you can find reliable, because they give you ratings on a lot of these, sites where they say, oh, this person does a really good job, 4 stars, right? And if you can honestly, it's like an Amazon review where you can honestly tell, right? Of course you can't always guarantee that it's perfect all the time, but I think that's a very good measure of as to, who I would choose to bring on with my services.
One other question. Expansion. You said there's a teacher in high school or your school academy, but what will be your plan to have other teachers adopted and maybe the whole DOE? How would you go about doing that, expanding the other expanding schools further?
Right, so I think that's a really good question. Thank you for asking. So like I said, even though one teacher is interested, I think that is enough for me to get a start to see where I'd like to go with it, first and foremost. And then afterwards, I can talk to the social studies department. I have connections with the assistant principal in charge, and I think that hopefully she'll welcome the idea. And then also, in my previous middle school, right, I saw ties to elementary schools, and I'm going to be transparent and say that I can use. Hopefully, I'll be able to, utilize my school name and just be able to, have that back me up and say, hey, this is like a school backed project, and we would like to implement it elsewhere, and then hopefully people will be receptive to it.
Good job. I really like your presentation as well. You definitely took some of the pointers that we offered during our last meeting, which is great. I like that you talked about the revenue, because again, people that invest do want to know how much they're going to get back and when they're going to get back. So my question is this, normally curriculums, right, we don't need permission from parents when it's standard curriculums, right? But for when it's a curriculum with a sensitive topic as gun violence, did you think about how you would go about speaking to the parents about that? Or how does the school connect with the parents? Because I see you didn't have that up there.
Right, thank you so much for asking. I'll definitely keep that in mind, thank you for the advice. But I would say that, first of all, even currently, right, we have health, right, as a part of our, class curriculums. And even in middle school, I remember, my parents signing up forms saying, I want my kid to be in health, I want my kid to be in health, right? And I would say the majority of our, parents checked off, I want my kid to be in health, right? Because, first of all, gun violence, education, I think it's more, I would say if the topic was people should own guns, people should not own guns, I think that's touchier to, because people have different beliefs and, we should all be accepting of different beliefs. But since the topic is on gun violence specifically, right, or anti-gun violence, in this case, I don't think, parents would be very, objective, would object to specifically saying, oh, I don't want my kid to be educated on, the dangers of a gun, right? But even if that is the case, I think I could definitely work something out with the school where we're setting up a notice and just emphasizing how important it is, considering not only the high rates of gun violence in our schools right now, right? But also the fact that, just to educate your kids on a topic, on a social issue topic.
Yeah, I would suggest you to add that because parents are more involved than they ever been before. And gun violence is definitely a touchy subject because you added in your slides that the teachers will teach pros and cons, right? So then you're tapping into what a parent would think would be okay and not okay. My next question is, you have a beautiful presentation. You're welcome. It definitely educates the students. Please explain to us how it will educate the community.
So I would say that, honestly, the children, right, are the next generation, right? They're our legacy. And I think that, of course, change is not going to happen overnight. Rome was built in a day, right? I would say that changes within our community happens first with our children, right? And then us being adults, we want our children to be safe naturally, right? As parents, you always worry, I would like him to be safe, honestly, right? That's what most parents, I would agree in their line of thinking. So I think that if they agree to this program, like you said, right, and hopefully they will, I think that the most important thing we can do is educate our kids, and then our community follows, since our kids are a part of our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley, for our lives. Thank you so much. We're going to take a quick break because the judges need some time to rate those amazing presentations that we've heard so far. So, Ingersoll, I'm sure you guys are up in 5 minutes. Thank you, judges. I do not want to be here. live. And 1. Okay, we are almost at the end. It's going to walk home with those checks. I like this one. Me too. I love this one. Do you guys love this one? You have to say this to the camera. You cannot, want to make a question?
Yes, can I answer this sponsor?
I'm already employing you as your city vendor. You can pass that stage, right? Pass it, Arnold. Last year's winner. Okay, what are you guys here doing today? It's going to the scoreboard. What are you guys doing today? Yes, we are here to create with a purpose, and that purpose is to raise your voice against gun violence. And the next thing I'm going to call is from Ingersoll with the Untriggered Lab.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn. I was born and raised in Brooklyn. I go to Erasmus Hall, and I'm going to be presenting for and representing the Ingersoll Community Center with our app Untriggered. Have you ever been in a situation where you've heard a gunshot? Not even just heard it, but you've been around it. Sometimes it's confusing to know what to do in the moment or where to go. And that's why our app Untriggered is going to be for you. The goal of our app is basically to spread awareness and prevent gun violence. It will allow you to be able to share your location, so it'll be live, and when you share your location, it'll give you an estimate of how far you are from a gunshot. It'll provide you with safe zones, places to go and places not to go. So let's say, for example, you're outside of the safe zone. It'll navigate you to one in which you'll be able to also partner up with others who are maybe also outside of the safe zone, and it'll navigate you guys to one. This will then be our budding feature, and it'll connect people in our neighborhoods. You'll also be able to add emergency contacts. So let's say, for example, you're not able to make it to a safe zone on time. For the emergency contacts, you can add a parent, a trusted friend, and they'll be alerted as well as 911 so that they can get to you as fast as possible if you can't make it to a safe zone and you're in the mid-fire. This is our budgeted plan with our marketing expenses at $200, app design at $189, app development at $500, Canvas membership at $119, and name trademarks at $242. Our target audience would be the elderly, youth, and also disabled, actually. The youth, because we have to prepare them for certain things, especially with everything that is going on right now. We want everybody to be safe, and you panic in the
a lot of our youth are going through anxiety and depression, and they need things like this to help them. Disabled. Let's say, for example, you're blind. We'll have a feature where it will speak out loud to you instead of you, because we know it's hard. So it will navigate you through speech on where to go and what to do. This is how to log in. You'll be able to put your username and password. This is kind of just a visual of what it'll look like. This is how you'll sign up with your name, email, password, verify your password, your number, and you can add as many emergency contacts as you need. This is kind of how the location app will look. The green is the safe zone, the red is where you should stay out of. It'll give you an option to put if you're prepared or not so that they could know and track where you are and where you're going it'll basically alert the paramedics as well. It'll also give tips and tricks. Let's say, for example, you're able to make it to the safe zone but you're wounded, or you're able to make it to the safe zone but someone there is wounded. They'll tell you things like how to safely do a quick procedure, because we all know that the police don't always make it on time. And me personally, this is something that has affected my life, because my uncle did pass away from gun violence because the police and the paramedics didn't make it on time. The first people there were actually the fire department. But yeah, it'll give you tips and tricks on breathing exercises to calm you down, or tips and tricks on how to calm somebody else down that is with you. And that is our app, Untriggered.
Brooklyn from Brooklyn, presenting Ingersoll Community Centers with Trigger. The judges have 5 minutes of discussions.
Come play Brooklyn. So I'm Brooklyn. One thing I like about my feedback. My feedback for your project is that I like the safe zone out there. One thing that Citizen doesn't have is a safe zone out there. So that's one thing that makes your project stand out. It kind of reminds me of Fortnite. Showing people the safe zones, but getting back to the circle. That's my feedback. And one question I do have is how would you get people to sign up for your or be notified about your app?
Well, one thing I am good at is networking. I know how to convince people, and also, this is the app that everybody needs. Let's take, for example, our elderly. I know that with our elderly, they love apps. They have apps for everything. So they'll, we have this app. It can keep your family and your friends safe, and it's easy, it's free, and you can download it.
Thank you, that was a good answer. Next question is I heard you say elderly. Would it just be for schools? Like, would you start in schools, would you start in tri-state, or would it possibly be worldwide at that point?
Okay, so we obviously want our goal is to make it worldwide, but for our test runs and stuff, we want it to be in our neighborhood. It will also be really cool if we're able to partner with schools as well when it comes to educating children and youth on gun violence and how to help each other. If you say, for example, you're a survivor and paramedics can't get there on time, what can you do to help a classmate help? What can you do to save lives? It'll connect people.
Thank you.
Question for you. Can you give us some insight into your revenue model? How do you make money from your application?
We'll be able to make money from this. Even though the app is free, we'll be able to partner up with, let's say, outside organizations, so they'll be able to maybe sponsor us or add their ads inside of our app. We will have ads added so we can make money off of that. But we don't want people to have to pay for them being safe, so the app will be overall generally free.
Good answer. Other question, same question of other group. Your budget had 1,200. The winning prize is 2,500. What would you do with the difference?
With the difference, I think it would be really cool if we're able to donate to charities that also support gun violence.
us, and they're working to be able to prevent it as well. I think that would be really cool.
Excellent. I just like the others, and you guys have put so much work, and it shows by the slides, how you articulate. I love the fact that you mentioned 2 vulnerable groups that no one else did in this room, and you highlighted the young and the youth and the elderly. The elderly sometimes they go forgotten, and I'm happy that you mentioned that, because they do need to be safe just like everyone else. A lot of them do live alone, and this is a great app to help them stay safe and know what to do in any event something happens. I also love the fact that you put your tips and tricks, because most people, you do panic. We're not nurses, some of us are not doctors. So the fact that you highlighted that is great, because it gives the person who's using the app the tools that they need to help themselves or someone else that may be injured. So my question goes back to what both my colleagues mentioned, my partners mentioned, the budget, which you answered, and how would you say you stand to win amongst the other apps that may be similar, like Citizen? Talk about that. And it's okay, because a lot of great ideas, come from ideas that are already there, and we just add to it, right? So how are you different than that app?
Okay, well, most apps, like Citizens app, they connect people just virtually, but our app will be connecting people physically. That's what the safe zones are for, and that's what the budgeting system is for. You'll be leaving with a new experience and building bonds with people off of a similar experience that you guys has shared together. You may save a life, someone may save your life, but at the end of the day, it's really important to know and care for your community. So a lot of us live, and we live without purpose. And being able to have a purpose, I'm living for my community, I'm living for the next generation, I am living for my family is important, and this is what this app will bring, connection.
Thank you.
Lynn from representing Ingersoll Community. Okay, we're almost at the end. I'm going to give my judges a few minutes to get their scores in. And we'll queue when we're ready to have our last team.
Right.
Okay. We are ready to start with the last presentation. Who's gonna take it? I want to give it to all of you guys. Just the fact that you guys are here today, you guys are already winners. Remember, Mr. Fisher said that first. Right? Just showing up today, you guys are already winners. I want to share something with you guys because I also went through the curriculum, right? And one of the things that Mr. Damon said was he had a young man, Mo. Did you guys go through the curriculum?
Yeah.
And he said that Mo had a great presentation. It was amazing. And he knew that Mo needed mentorship more than making him a winner at the show at that moment. Did you guys remember that slide? You guys remember that? If you did you wouldn't be here if you didn't finish the presentation, so I know you did, right? So sometimes mentorship is more important than anything else. So just be here, you guys are already winners. And now Mo has his bows and sacks. He didn't win Shark Tank, but he got mentorship by Damon John himself, and he's offering the same to you guys without even going on the Shark Tank show, just by being a part of the CYC Thunder program, right? All right. So our last group for the night is from the Brooklyn Latin School. The Brooklyn Latin School. Nola Arbor.
Three, two, one.
Hello, Sharks! We are Nola Arbor, which loosely translates to Latin to anti-gun violence, as we want to inspire a new wave of gun awareness. My name is Stephen Wong, and I go to Brooklyn Latin School, but I'll be going to college next semester.
Yeah, hello. Okay, my name is Ariana Pampa. I'm also a recent graduate of the Brooklyn Latin School, and I'm headed to college in Trinity College. Woo!
Hello, my name is Matthew Lamb, and I am a rising senior at the Brooklyn Latin School.
Hi, my name is Edward White. I'm a rising senior at the Brooklyn Latin High School, and our name got double checked by our Latin teacher, so we know it's right. Alright. So, what's our idea? A bit different from what everyone else presented tonight was everyone presented an app. We have a social media campaign. Ooh. So, what is our plan? What we have in store is an Instagram podcast. We want to spread across multiple different platforms to get a better reach. Something that our media campaign can do is that we can work with collaborators. Our main target audience is kids, and we understand that almost 52 children are affected by gun violence every day. That's an overwhelming number of people. But our media campaign will cover all the different nitty-bitty stuff like reels, stories, and we can always transition it to TikTok. Our podcast will be, we're planning to have 5 well-produced podcasts by the end of the summer. These podcasts will include interviews, we will have information sessions, and just students talking to other students about this issue. We think that it's important to have this connect between students and students.
Just looking at the structure of how it's going to be, we are planning to do a Instagram post every other day as a form of constant engagement. So, does anyone here have Instagram? Pretty much, yeah, even the judges. So, we want to do a constant form of engagement in order to continuously raise awareness, and by doing so, prevent anti-gun violence. And so we want to do this through beginning with research. So we're going to research our ideas, then begin by planning, and then going on to drafting the post. We then want to create the post and then finally edit the post before publishing it to the general public. A second form of engagement is something known as periodic form of engagement, and we want to do this efforts in the form of podcasts. So we want to begin by outreaching to people who have been affected by gun violence and people who have experienced gun violence, and then we want to go into communicating with them. We want to talk to them. We want to plan a podcast. We then want to go to recording the podcast and finally editing. We want to edit it before pushing it to the general public, and then finally advertising. So we want to advertise to all sorts of people, youths, even like adults, elderly, and we're probably going. And we do want to do this advertising through a whole bunch of different platforms, including Instagram, which you have already, but also through stuff like YouTube ads or Spotify ads, stuff like that.
Yeah, and so we really want to emphasize one of the core tenets of this awareness thing is quality. We really want to emphasize this quality. That's why we're going to invest a lot in equipment, so such as microphones, headphones, and cameras, so we can create this huge amount of quality. And if we look at the market right now, or in different types of awareness campaigns that are in Instagram right now, you can see that although they are good and well-meaning, a lot of them lack quality. And what we want to bring into Instagram and TikTok and all that good stuff is quality. We also want to do transportation, so we would add like $50 to transportation, so we can actually meet people who are affected by gun violence in New York City. We talk about how people in New York City are affected by gun violence, but it's not as talked about as it could be. So we should go and actually meet people and be able to interview them, be able to do all that good stuff. And advertising as well, we put $500 into media ads, and that would go right into like Instagram as well and all of the social medias, and that would just allow us to have further outreach, and that would be great. So we can, impact more people, and people can know more about what we're trying to do. We would also like to compensate a lot of our interviewees. We know that a lot of them are going to be taking time off their day, so for example, if they have to take a time off their job, like 1 or 2 hours, we can compensate them. Or if they have like some traumatic event and they really want to be able to get through it, we would also try to offer different online counseling or other stuff with our funds that we do that.
Oh, and something I'd like to add is that we would eventually like to move out of like our like parents' basements to record this kind of stuff. So the funding would go to that, and yeah.
Yeah, so like a major part of why we budgeted and we structured everything like this, is that generally we want to bring awareness. And what awareness means to us is bringing education to the poor. So in bringing awareness, we are seeking to answer some of the most like common questions of what gun violence exactly looks like. So one of them is, who are the survivors of gun violence? What do they look like? What are their stories? Who are the most impacted by gun violence? As previously stated by Edward, one of the most impacted groups of gun violence is young people, and that's also the reason why we want to target that as our target audience. But we also are trying to make this campaign as accessible to any age, and any minority, any person that identifies in a diverse way. Thirdly, how our community is growing past gun violence, which is strongly connected to what resources are available for survivors to seek help. As we know, mental health services aren't readily accessible to many people, especially to people in our communities. So we want to bring a platform and bring awareness towards what exactly that looks like. What are the stories attached to those? How can we as young people change them? And overall, we're seeking to bring awareness about the stories of people by quite literally bringing stories, which is our way of addressing community violence with intentional focus on anti-gun violence and community. And as a quick mention, we also wanted to kind of bring awareness to a quote that Damon John himself quoted, which is, don't focus on you, focus on what you can bring others. And what we want to focus on is the stories of survivors, the people impacted, the people who are researching gun violence, how they can prevent it, what exactly are the laws behind it, lawmakers and such. We we really want to bring that to the table. We want to bring those awareness, those statistics, that research to the table.
Alright, Sharks, are you ready to arm our kids with knowledge and not guns? Yeah.
The judges will ask questions now.
One thing I want to say is, I like that trying to do an ad. We have this something, different for the social media campaign. I feel like it's unique. There's money out here, but not really taking the violence. I'll give you a feel on that. And one question I wanted to ask is, how would y'all basically, what would y'all podcast be based on?
Sorry, can you clarify where it's based on, like the location?
The location, your meetings, like where?
I mean, right now without funding, we probably have to do it in our wellness basement, but we would use the funding to have a better space, use microphones, quality cameras, so it doesn't seem like something we just recorded on our iPhone.
And there's also a lot of different free platforms. So, for example, there's Anchor and Spotify, and they give us a lot of opportunities to advertise as well, and also create really high quality podcasts through those platforms as well. So there's a lot of different options we can go with.
One more question. How would you use the tool that you have already to make your podcast succeed?
I mean, something I think a successful podcast needs is good personality, which I think that we all have, and I think that it'll be very attractive to a younger audience, right? And even without high quality stuff, we can still produce high quality content. Whether it's like just jokes we make along the way, or really going deep into the facts and statistics about gun violence.
Agree.
Good job. I would say ask one question. Assuming you, this wonderful group wins the competition, give me 2 people you want on your podcast right away.
Oh, I would absolutely love to interview the DA of Brooklyn, because I did recently an event hosted about gun violence, about prevention month, and he gave this really inspiring speech about wanting guns opportunity, about how he wakes up every morning to check it at 3 a.m. to check the statistics of the night. And it was one of the most inspiring events I've been to personally, and kind of what gave me inspiration and motivation to actually participate in this event. So I would definitely say him, especially because he himself said that he's more than interested to be asked further questions and such. So I've been more excited.
I also think that we want to engage the community, because I think this entire campaign and awareness is to engage the community. So it'd be really cool to be able to talk to young advocates like ourselves through all the different platforms and through different schools in Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island, and all those places. There's tons, and I'm sure we can reach out and be able to get some of our podcasts too, and talk about the different perspectives as well.
For a specific person, I don't want their name, but I do know them right now. But I do know people who have been personally affected and were victims of gun violence, and so I would, with their consent, I would bring them onto the podcast and hopefully allow them to voice their own story.
It's a joke question. For $50 on a Metro card, how does 4 people split that?
Well, I think it's like a investment, but we'll probably be doing like different campaigns where 2 people out in the field or 2 people being staying around. It was like a mixed launch of that. It's a rough estimate, but I'm sure it will grow because MTA president and 2 crazy.
Back and forth from you taking the bus and the train back and forth, and probably like $10 so we open the gate.
You don't do that.
Good job. I agree with the both of them that the fact that you guys decided to do a campaign versus an ad definitely says, you're thinking out the box. You guys mentioned that you will pay people to come on the show, right? So I also have a show. I have a radio show, iHeartRadio. And I like the idea that you want to pay people, but how do you get paid?
Well, because we have our business spread across many different platforms, we can get ad revenue from multiple different platforms. And that way we can build up. We also can collaborate with other people. That way we can promote certain stuff that we think would be helpful for gun violence or relates to it. And I'm pretty sure there are a lot of other companies or businesses who are already in this field and would want to collaborate or support our startup.
Would you guys see this as a non-profit?
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Because it sounds like it can definitely lead to that. And it's a great idea. But that's it, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wow. This is where we come to the end of presentations. But you know what? You guys stand up and give yourself a round of applause. Look at the camera and say, I did that. Go ahead. I did that. Right? Okay, so we are going to take a break. The judges are going to deliberate. You guys are going to hang out. You're going to talk to each other about your apps and your podcasts. And we'll come back in about 20 minutes with the results.
What's up, folks?
Do you guys know something?
No,
I got it. It was good songs. I'm gonna see myself.
The juniors were bad. Psychiatrics was like every single one. Young juniors were like.
But it's not that fun.
Can I get close?
Yeah, you can. Okay.
Yeah. Like, actually, no, exactly.
Not that close. Yep. Stacy,
Go ahead, go. You guys, what were you guys called?
No longer on. Show up.
Okay, Ashley. You're good. All right. And then
All right.
I got it. Yeah. Okay.
No, it said look at your eyes.
No, seriously.
Come on, come on, come on. Take your seat, take your seat. You ready? Okay. Hi guys, I'm back here. Hi. Okay, so we are back. I would love to stay with you guys all night, but the night must come to an end. And before we do announcing of the winners, before I have my distinguished guests announce you, before you hear from the judges, I want to present you all with a certificate of participation because you guys have worked really hard and you deserve to have this. So again, hands up for yourself. Nova, Jerry. Thank you, Jerry, for being a part. No, Jerry still for being a part of the 2022 Young Sharks Back to In-Person competition.
Shift over a little, just because you're in the Young Sharks. There you go.
She wants both. She worked on it.
One second.
Thank you, Jerry, for being a part of the competition. We'll just wait. We'll wait.
Sorry, I didn't.
We got you.
I didn't know what a photo op.
Oh, okay. So pick one, is what you said.
No, to me, I presented this off the side, so
Okay. So that way, but don't get the black. There you go. Okay. Go ahead. You want to do it again?
Yeah, right here.
We're good.
Got it. Got it.
Thank you, Jerry, so much. Ashley, come up here for our line. You get this. Thank you, Ashley. Brooklyn, come up here and trigger. Thank you so much, Brooklyn, coming all the way from Ingersoll. Shield up. Come up here. Congratulations, young lady. You did great. Come up here, mentor, and take a picture with me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
Thank you, thank you. Last but certainly not least, my Latin students. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. We can't see our there we go. Better? All right, judges. Oh, you guys, just let me know when they're ready.
You should have at least. Right there. Okay. A white shortcut, get the whole thing. Yeah, good video here. Anything on the moment? Okay. All right, freeze there. So one last one. Let me get the cameras in the shot. All right. Got it.
Our 2022 Young Sharks judges. Thank you guys so much for your time. To NYCU. In talking about commitment to NYC young people, I want to recognize Charles. Charles has been like a mentor to me since I started this partnership with him. He's always caught me, Karen, we should do this, we should add this, the kids need to do this. And we've made it happen, right? And I want to thank my associate director, I'm not sure if he's still here, just for allowing us the vision to be creative and to be innovative. And DYCD takes pride in doing this work with our partners. I also want to thank the team, the SB team. You guys rock. I really love you guys so much. You guys are an amazing team. Danny, I see you over there. Charles, come up here with me. Come up here. So Charles, this is on behalf of DYCD. This is a thank you for keeping me on edge, right? Keeping me engaged and keeping me focused, right? Most of the times I'm like, okay, this is happening. You're like, okay, just think about this and think about it that way. And you really have a vision for young people. You're passionate about young people. And I think what stood up for you most was the cause this year, the gun violence, right? And the work that you've been doing in the community. So I present this service award to you and the Hip Hop Summit Youth Council for everything that you guys are doing as part of Young Sharks this year and what you will continue to do with our Sharks. So thank you so much. Join me here. This is the Hip Hop Summit Youth Council recognition. Thank you guys so much, Randy. Thank you guys for the work that you guys put in. You guys were in every training, every meeting. So thank you guys so much, and we will continue this work because our young people need role models such as yourselves in the community. Thank you, guys, and thank you to Charles and to the rest of the Hip Hop Summit Youth Council. Oh, sorry. Charles will address it.
And the Grammy goes too. Thank y'all, I appreciate it. I know y'all want to get out of here, but we all winners. Much respect to the judges. All the presentations was excellent. I love it all, and we're gonna make it all happen for everybody. And most of all, thank you.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, big shout out to all y'all Sharks. Y'all did y'all thing. Y'all had all great innovative ideas, you know what I'm saying, between the apps, the campaigns, everything, and you guys worked really hard. And whether or not you win or lose, you guys are definitely going far in life. So just keep working hard and keep grinding, all right?
Thank you. All right. So the moment that we've all been waiting for, right? And I really want to start off by saying that I really need you guys to hear us, right? Your tenacity through adversity is not unnoticed tonight, right? You guys are here fighting for a cause. Gun violence is not okay in our community, and we are here to create with a purpose. Create with a purpose. All right, so I'm here to do the hard task. I wish I didn't have to do this part, but we are going to announce our third place winner. Can somebody help me with the check for $1,500 on behalf of DYCD seed funding for your business? Da 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 da. Okay, the check is so big it won't even stand right. This third place team came in here today and they wowed us. They gave us something different, but something that could go in the direction that we would want to go with this competition. So, join me up here at Brooklyn Latin School. Congratulations. You guys are great.
No. No. Over here, sorry. Over here.
When you're you. Thank you so much. May you take this funding and continue to fight against gun violence. Ooh, this is tough. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. But I have to do it. Okay. First of all, congratulations to all the teams. Can my judges join me up here? Please, please, please. This is not possible without your work and your commitment to young people. So I know you have a few words to say to the third place team.
Oh, it was an innovative idea that we love the energy. Innovative idea, we love the energy you brought to the stage, and we're looking forward to good things in the future. Just keep up the good work.
Keep up the great work. You guys are amazing. Yes.
We love your campaign and we love how it's unique.
You heard them. It was hard. All right. Wow. Oh, we gotta do this, guys. Can they all be winners? Oh my God. All right. My second place team. She is phenomenal. She's amazing. She's strong. Ashley Farlies, can you join us? Ashley, from day one, you've been on it. You've been on it, you've been committed, you text me late at night, you called, you attended every training, and you showed up today. So thank you so much. Other the judges thank you.
Actually, you applied every intricate detail that was asked of you. Your dedication shows, and definitely a curriculum is needed. So congratulations to you. Keep up the great work.
After that, it was definitely the most thorough presentation. There wasn't many things missed in your presentation, so keep up the good work. The future is bright for you.
Ashley, I like how you let your future of your app make the beginning of your app.
Thank you so much, Ashley. We'll be touched. Yeah. Okay. So I was told by DY City we're not going to be able to take this check to the bank or to the ATM. We're going to have to take it to the tower because that's the only way we're going to get it in cash. This team, this was hard. This is a really hard competition. You guys were all amazing. You guys worked hard. You guys took the pledge. You guys came out. We had groups that did, they had amazing technology. And I want to tell you guys that I'm still working with Arnold. That's just a testament of my commitment to this project. So no matter what happens here tonight, it is not over for you because you showed up today. And that's my promise to you as the project manager who oversees Young Sharks. So please, don't feel defeated. It's not over. And the Hip Hop Summit Youth Council has really promised us that they will continue to support you guys and mentor you guys. So, Berkman, come on here. You wowed the judges. They were all in agreement. It wasn't an argument. There was no question asked. So congratulations, and you will be hearing from me. I will be in your inbox every day so we can get this app out. Congratulations.
I would say what impressed us the most from what we measured here to what we saw tonight, you went from 0 to 100 like Reyes behind. We don't quit. That's a wise person once said. So keep up the good work. You impressed us big time.
Brooklyn, you did amazing. Echo that, the same sentiments, and I love what is it? Tip and tricks. Am I saying it right? Tips and tricks. I love that. It's very unique. And keep up the good work. And we're here for everyone. Like we're here 24, right, Kat?
Absolutely.
To piggyback off my fellow judges, I love the tips and tricks you can tell you watch YouTube. I love the safe zones with the four-name and collaboration. I just want to say congratulations, you know, because I'm from Brooklyn too. I just want to give it up to you.
Good luck. Congratulations. Absolutely. Come up here. Yes. You know what? You're already a leader. Look at you. That's right. Come up here, Miss Brianna. I call this program morning, noon, and night because I knew you guys had it in you guys. You had a gem, and you just had to bring it out. So, congratulations. All right, so my judges are going to speak to our other groups. Again, this is not the end. We are going to continue working with you guys because you guys all had amazing ideas.
You're leading this.
Shield up.
So Shield Up, I will speak to you guys first. Don't get mad at me when I say this, but I'm giving you advice from the heart. I would say, first of all, Professor, you had the best technical solution I heard here tonight, hands down. What you have to work on is the presentation. Because what I've learned in my career, in my profession, is not always the smartest person doesn't always win. It's how you articulate it would make the difference. So work on that, get confidence up, and articulate your ideas, and you're going to go far. But that app has a great potential, really and truly.
I agree. And one thing I learned in my career is always put the strongest person in the front. You always have to be a leader and lead your team. So whoever's the strongest out the pack, always come and step up, and it'll bring your team to victory.
You guys did an amazing job. From when we first met, honestly, to be completely transparent, I said, they're gonna win. And I said that from when I first met you guys, and you did win. You want an opportunity to be here, you want an opportunity to share your light, and you want an opportunity to now execute. And this time around, it's gonna be bigger and even better because that app is truly amazing. And that's to everyone in the room. You guys have creativity that surpasses so much of what I've seen in adults. So keep up the great work. It was a pleasure to be here with you guys. It was a pleasure to serve you, give you my feedback, and we'll definitely be in touch. You guys did an amazing job. That's everyone collectively. You guys have an amazing app. Don't let go of that.
The final group, Logos.
We loved your presentation. The only bad thing we felt about it is like you're not really like communicating to the problem, like with the community, but you did all the research and all the resources you found was great.
I'm just going to echo what my colleague said. This really feels like a very close decision. Is that connection with the community. All the analytics was there, the details was there. Sometimes when you're in a competition, the emotional connection is the thing that puts you over, right? And even though it's an app, it's still emotional. You have to make a connection with your audience. So that was the one little piece I would say to work on. But keep up the good work. There's potential what you have there too.
I agree. Put those small, intricate details in. Your app is amazing. You guys are going to go far. You're going to go far. And I pray that you guys hold on to your vision, because a vision is hard to let go when you feel that there is no victory. But there's a victory every single moment. Take this as a learning lesson and apply it.
Thank you guys so much. Every single team, again, it doesn't end here, right? Your commitment as winners means that you're going to get to work with Damon John. So continue to work on your product. You now represent DYCD. You now represent the Young Sharks competition. So when we go in front of Mr. John, we are going to look like we know what we're talking about, and we practice, right? And we're going to take everything that the mentors gave us today, because they're entrepreneurs, they're professors, they're business owners, they're youth leaders. So we're going to take the experiences experiences that they've taught us today and everything they gave us, and we're going to build on it. We're not just going to, oh, we won, and that's the end. No, oh, we didn't win, so we quit. No, it doesn't end here. So thank you guys so much for your time. Have a great journey home, and have a good night.